Wasabi wallet. Unfairly private.
If you are brand new to Bitcoin, you're going to need to learn how to do a few things right off the bat. How to buy and sell, and how to get Bitcoin into your own personal wallet. Today we're going to take a look how to do those things using an exchange called Coinbase, which is one of the most popular exchanges on the planet. Then afterwards, we're going to break things down and figure out if Coinbase is right for you or if you should look into alternatives. I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, shout out to sponsors of the show, LEDN.io. This is where you can use your Bitcoin for a variety of different services. Of course, they've got their Bitcoin-backed loans where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to get a Canadian or US dollar loan. So if you're in a pinch and you need dollars and you don't want to sell your Bitcoin because that's taxable and you're worried about buying back in at a higher price, this could be for you. They also have Bitcoin and USDC savings accounts with interest rates of up to 11.7% annually paid monthly. And they've got their B2X offering, which effectively doubles your Bitcoin on the spot using the same loan mechanism. If you want to check these guys out, there's a link in the show notes down below. If you click that link and opt to get one of their loan products, they will toss $25 worth of USDC for free into your savings account. Up next, we have the legends at Crypto Cloaks. These guys are incredible. They've got 3D printers running 24/7, printing off great Bitcoin swag. They've got shells for your Bitcoin node. They've got a ton of gift options, shelving units to store hardware wallets, hardware wallet cases, flags, coasters, just a bit of everything. Check them out. Incredible stuff. I've got a ton of their stuff decorating my room and around here. So cryptocloaks.com. And if you want a discount of 5% at checkout, use the code BTC Sessions, all one word. The Cobo Vault has become one of my regularly used hardware wallets. The thing is air-gapped, meaning you never plug it into an internet-connected device, keeping your keys to your money offline and safe. Now, it's got a secure element. It has open source firmware, Bitcoin only if you choose, and I do recommend, and it works with all my favorite wallets, Bitcoin Core, Electrum, Wasabi, Blue Wallet. Thing is great. Be sure to check it out in the links down below. For reference, I'm using the Cobo Vault Pro, which has the fingerprint scanner and a rechargeable battery. And finally, Bitrefill, great spot to spend your Bitcoin and pick up gift cards. They just have a plethora of them. And if you live on Bitcoin like I do, this is an absolute must. They allow you to spend on main chain or Lightning Network. They allow you to refill your mobile phone, and they also offer inbound Lightning liquidity if you have your own Lightning node. In the process of purchasing gift cards, you also earn sats back. So again, an absolute must if you're trying to live on Bitcoin like myself, or maybe if you've enjoyed some upside to the price of your Bitcoin and you want to indulge and get yourself a little treat, head over to bitrefill.com. There's a link down below. And with that, let's dive into the show. Okay, we are here on the Coinbase website on the main dashboard on our home page. Now, I've already set up and signed up for Coinbase, and I've done the verification process already, which involves ID, selfie, all that kind of stuff. We'll get into that later. But first, I just want to kind of give an overview of the website, what's in front of you, and get right into how to buy, sell, and transfer to your own wallet. So first up, across the top, these are kind of the main things that you need to be looking at. Your home screen here, the portfolio, which will give you kind of an aggregate view of all of the funds in your Coinbase account, prices for various assets that they list. They have their earn rewards program, which we'll be talking about a bit later. Over here is the more important stuff, your trade button, which allows you to buy or sell, and your send and receive button, which allows you to send Bitcoin to an external wallet or receive a deposit of Bitcoin from an external wallet. When you look down here, you can see your portfolio balance over time, and you can change the time frame here. You can go from hourly, 24-hour, 1 week, 1 year, 1 month, whatever you like. And again, because just a single transaction has gone through here, it's just fluctuations in the price of the market, and that's about it, a single purchase you can see there. As you go down, you can see more. They have offers for investing weekly, or this will just be kind of whatever news interest that they want to show you. You have a watch list of any assets that you're looking at. Of course, I'm only looking at Bitcoin. They have their earn program showing here. And again, we'll touch on that in a little bit. Inviting friends to earn as well. Earning referral links. And then again, your portfolio, it kind of shows a list of what you have in there, the amount, and then the dollar amount, what that translates to, as well as your recent transactions. Now mine are set to Canadian dollars because I'm here in Canada, but that will reflect whatever your local currency is. So let's get into what you need to do to be able to actually purchase and sell. And so you need to add a payment method. Now, if you've just started up, there will likely be a button somewhere on the main screen that says add a payment method. But if you can't find that, you just click on your little thing up here. You're going to hit settings. And then within that, you're going to head over to payment methods there. And this is where you can add payment methods. All you do, you hit add payment method, and then it asks you whether you want to add a credit or debit card. PayPal is for withdrawals only, but you can link that up as well. So if I hit credit, debit card, then basically what's going to happen is it's going to give you where you put in a card number. Now it says that you can add any credit or debit card here. So again, when I hit this, use any Visa or MasterCard to make small investments at a bank or wallet to sell. Okay. So keep that in mind because we're going to touch on that later, but that's pretty much all you need to do. You put in the card and go from there. I will, again, get into that later because I had some issues there. Anyways, let's head back home. Once you have your payment method linked up to Coinbase, this is where you could now trade and buy. And so all you do is you hit the trade button up top. You're going to hit buy or sell if you're selling. We'll look at that in a minute. But I'm going to select an amount. I'm just going to say $50. This is a one-time purchase. Now you can click this and you can make this recurring. So it's every day, every week, the 1st and 15th of the month, or every month. And I do like this. Dollar cost averaging is a nice, easy way to kind of step back and not have to think. And this kind of averages out your price. So you're not trying to panic. You're not panicking as the price is moving. It's just kind of an easy way to passively purchase and invest in Bitcoin. But for this, I'm going to leave it as a one-time purchase. I've already selected which payment method. You can change that if you have multiple ones. I hit preview buy. Now this shows me how much I'm going to get in Bitcoin, what I'm paying with, the current price of a total Bitcoin. And again, keep in mind, you don't obviously have to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is divisible into 100 million parts called Satoshis. And it would be actually great if they were to change this or optionally change it to show Satoshis, because it feels a lot better buying 265,000 Satoshis for $50 than buying 0.002 Bitcoin for $50. But effectively, it's the same thing. Anyways, you can see the fees. I have a fee of around $2 here. And yeah, so I'm basically getting 48.01 worth of Bitcoin. I'm paying a $1.99 fee, and my total is $50. So I'm going to hit buy now. Authorizing. Okay, so my payment is processing. It should, if I'm successful, it should bump me to a page. There we go. Your purchase was successful. 0.0027 Bitcoin will be available in your Bitcoin wallet instantly. And again, it gives you your invite now if you want to get referrals and so on and so forth. So if I go back home here, I believe I should see that reflected instantly. Maybe I need to hit refresh. I mean, I can see the buy here, but let's just hit refresh and see how that looks. Okay, there we go. So I've got 95 something in there combined with the 2 purchases that I have made. Perfect. Okay. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take this out of Coinbase. Now you may be saying, well, hey, this is my Bitcoin wallet, and why wouldn't I just leave it here? Well, that's because Coinbase is actually like a bank, and they are holding your money for you. And this goes for any custodian, any exchange. If you leave your Bitcoin there, there's a possibility that your funds could be frozen by that entity. And with Coinbase, that can happen fairly often. I've heard of lots of people on Coinbase that have had their accounts frozen and had issues accessing their funds. So it is very important that you go and you remove your funds into your own personal wallet. Okay, so now I have done a tutorial on a lot of different types of Bitcoin wallets. Today I'm going to be using Blue Wallet on mobile. If you are unfamiliar with Blue Wallet, because I'm not going to do a big tutorial on how to use Blue Wallet within this existing tutorial, there is a link down below in the show notes, and you can learn all about how to utilize it, and that should do the trick for you. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be opening up my Blue Wallet, and I'm going to be going to my receive screen to get an address that I can withdraw to. And so what I need to do is on my receive screen within my wallet, I'm going to have something like this with a QR code. Sorry, there's a lot of reflection going on here. A QR code, and down below it, there's a string of digits, and that is my own personal Bitcoin wallet address. And what I need to do is I need to get that address into Coinbase. So what we do is we go up top and we're going to hit the send button. And send means that we're sending out of Coinbase to a different Bitcoin wallet. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to send effectively what I actually bought, which was around $48. Okay. The reason for that is I want to see what kind of fees I get hit with sending on the way out. All right, so we will take note of that afterwards. So I choose the amount that I want. If I wanted to send all, I could just hit the send all button and it would populate with that. But that's not what I want right now. I'm going to do 48. Okay. 2, I need an address. Okay. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go to webqr.com. And that way I'll just quickly scan my address here. Okay, so it took a second. You can use webqr.com to scan an address off of your phone, or you can copy that address by tapping it and sending it to you via some sort of messenger, whatever you like. Just verify that the address that you've scanned or that you've sent to yourself is the same as the address within the wallet, so you don't have any mistakes, but you can effectively just paste it in here, and that is your address there. Okay, I can add a note to this. I don't really feel that I need to, so I'm going to hit continue. Okay, and so what it's telling me is there is no Coinbase fee that I see here. And if I click on that just to double check, there is, from what I've read, there is sometimes withdrawal fees. Okay. Now this can vary, and I will link to this fee rundown before. I've read that there may be a 1% withdrawal fee as well in some instances, but then there's also the network fee. Now, the network fee is not a Coinbase related fee. It is the Bitcoin network. In order to sustain itself and actually be secure, the miners, the people in the background volunteering their computing power to run Bitcoin, they are responsible for securing everything, and those fees go to miners. So with that, I'm going to hit send now. And we can see that basically I'm going to get a text message here. That is my verification code. Okay, so I ended up getting about a $2 fee on the way out there. Okay. Now, Bitcoin fees can vary quite a bit depending on how busy the network is. What I would love to see from Coinbase, as well as a lot of other exchanges, is an option as to setting the fee if you're not in a huge rush, because you can set the fee lower and wait a little bit longer, or different withdrawal options, because there are networks built around Bitcoin or on top of Bitcoin that allow for faster and cheaper transactions. Things like the Lightning Network or the Liquid sidechain, both of those things allow for faster and cheaper transactions. Unfortunately, that is not enabled, but hey, what are you going to do? Okay, so we have now gone through purchasing Bitcoin and removing it back to your own custody. Now, what about on the opposite side of things? What if you would like to deposit Bitcoin back into Coinbase and then sell it? Well, we can do that. So if we go up to the receive button in the top right, if we click that, there is a receive screen, and that is a QR code that I can then send to, or down below, there is the address as a string of digits, and I can click on that to copy it and then paste it into an email or paste it into a wallet on my desktop, whatever I need to do, and that's fine. And so all I need to do is, with the wallet on my phone or a wallet on my computer, is paste in this address, get it onto my phone, or scan it with my camera here, and then send over the amount of Bitcoin that I want. Again, that Blue Wallet tutorial that I mentioned that I did is in the show notes, and it will show you exactly how to send a Bitcoin transaction, but it's kind of out of the scope of this video for now. Now, let's say that this remaining balance here was something that I had deposited onto Coinbase. And again, those deposits can take a little bit. They have to be confirmed by the network before they are available. But once they are, what I can then do is I can go back to my trade screen, and it defaults to buy, but you can click over and hit sell. And all you need to do is put in the amount that you're selling and your withdrawal address. Now, I've set it as PayPal. Now, I do want to show you something, because for me, this hasn't quite worked as swimmingly as I would have expected. But if I say that I want to withdraw a certain amount, user is unable to sell. And to be honest, I have no idea what's going on there. It doesn't matter what I put in, $5, unable to sell. $40, unable to sell. No dice. Sell. No, nothing. No, I'm not allowed to do anything here. And I don't know why. I've looked online. Some people have said it may be something with the verification of your documents when it comes to ID, which is funny because it verified me enough to purchase. So I don't know what's going on there. If I want to convert, I'm more than welcome to trade, apparently, and incur fees and trading and stuff like that. I can purchase and pay those fees, but I cannot sell, and I'm not quite sure why. So hopefully, if you're looking to sell, luckily I'm not looking to sell, but hopefully you have better experience with that than me. But Coinbase is not my main method of buying and or selling Bitcoin. So I guess right now what I'd like to do is get into a little bit about Coinbase in general and my thoughts here. So let's jump out of Coinbase and have a chat. Okay, so overall, let's talk about Coinbase and whether or not you should use it. So let's start with the fees. Purchasing on Coinbase right off the hop, when I made that $50 purchase, I came out with about $48. So that is a 4% fee on your purchase. You can get lower fees if you go over to Coinbase Pro, but if you're just using regular Coinbase, you're going to get dinged there. On top of that, when you withdraw, and the withdrawal fees may vary, it looks like, but from some things I've read, there's a 1% withdrawal fee on top of the Bitcoin network fee. Now, that may change by the time you see this video, but that's just recent stuff that I've read that came from articles as recently as this past summer in 2020. The network fee is not up to Coinbase, but they could implement options that reduce those costs by adding things like Lightning Network or Liquid. That has not been done, but at the time of recording this video, there aren't a lot of exchanges that do that yet, and I expect that those things you won't see by and large until it warrants it, until Bitcoin fees are much higher and the network is much busier. But still, I anticipate that other places will implement it long before Coinbase does. Now let's talk about limits on purchases. Adding my Visa debit card for purchasing here and adding other cards, effectively I'm limited initially to $300 per week for purchases. And in order to increase that, I need to make $450 worth of purchases, which equates to effectively waiting 2 weeks before my limit goes up. There's no reference to how much that limit will go up once I hit that $450 threshold, but those limits are pretty low, I've got to say. And I'm used to, here in Canada, having pretty quick access to much higher limits once I've been verified. And I'm not quite sure why the limits are so low initially if I've gone through the trouble of providing IDs and passports and selfies and all of that to still have a $300 per week limit. Seems pretty restrictive to me. Now, what about the verification process itself? Because you guys did not see that, but holy God, I had so much trouble with this. As I said, I submitted ID, passport, gave email address, personal address, all of that stuff. And it seemed to work until I went to purchase and just everything was getting rejected right, left, and center. What ended up happening after emails back and forth, they had me, do selfies with my IDs and do all this different stuff. And they kept on saying, yes, it's fine. It should work. I called my card issuers because I was using a Visa and then I was using a MasterCard. I called the card issuers and they said, yeah, we're not holding anything. It's the merchant that's stopping you. And I couldn't get a straight answer until eventually in an email, somebody said, well, maybe it just won't work with credit cards and you got to do something else. So I ended up using a Visa debit card linked to my bank account. And in the end, that worked for me. And that was the payment method that I used today in the example. But again, we saw on that screen, I pointed it out, use any Visa or MasterCard to purchase. And that just simply was not the case. Again, maybe you'll have better luck than I did, but no dice. And then I wanted to touch on a couple other things that really deter me from Coinbase. One of them is their use of altcoins as almost like a casino. And part of this is they're constantly kind of shoving all like the price movements of various different coins in your face to I guess get you excited about trading different coins. But the other big one is their earn program. And the reason I have a problem with the earn program is not in that they're giving away coins and getting people to learn about stuff, is that they're attempting to legitimize a lot of these projects that are effectively just ideas with not a lot backing them up. And they're enticing you by giving you a couple bucks here and there in the hopes that you will take a tried and tested cryptocurrency like Bitcoin that's been around for, basically 12 years now and equate it with the same level of legitimacy as a lot of these kind of fly-by-night altcoins that they're putting in front of your face, as if they're as legitimate and are as battle-tested, which is really just not the case. If you're unsure of what I'm saying here, again, don't trust me outright, but verify. And I've written a couple blog posts on this. I wrote a post about why I believe Bitcoin to kind of be just leaps and bounds above anything else out there. And I also wrote a blog post on what happened the previous bull run to people that invested in altcoins thinking that they were going to be the next Bitcoin. There was a segment on CNBC, I believe, with Brian Kelly, and he gave his opinion of what is a well-diversified crypto portfolio. And I did a post-mortem 2 years afterwards of what happened to anybody that actually diversified into that portfolio. I highly recommend you check out the blog post, because if anything convinces you that it may not be a good idea to diversify in a whole bunch of other random altcoins that are flavor of the month or flavor of the week, this will definitely put you down that path. Now, the last thing about Coinbase I wanted to touch on is just that there's a large number of fundamental reasons that I'm opposed to them that I'm not going to get super deep into, but one such example is Coinbase has created privacy infringing software and sold it to the US government. They've also hired very questionable people that have created software for authoritarian governments and again sold it to them, which was then used to crack down on the constituents in said countries. I did do a video a while back called Why Delete Coinbase, because there was a hashtag trending on Twitter called hashtag delete Coinbase. And it's like a 30-minute video on all of the gripes and grievances that people have with Coinbase outside of just the platform itself and its usage, but rather the ethos of the company and what they've been doing outside of just the regular trading platform. I will link to that down below, but in the end, again, don't take my word for it. Go search for opposing views on this. I just want you to do your due diligence and consider where you're utilizing to purchase and use Bitcoin. Now, if you're looking for alternatives, if you look at all this and you're like, maybe Coinbase isn't for me, well, I would check out, if you're in the US, a few good options would be Swan Bitcoin, which focuses just on Bitcoin and allows you to dollar cost average. Another great one would be Cash App. That's nice and easy to use as well. And then River Financial is another one, and that tends to be geared towards kind of larger investments. Here in Canada, a few good ones just off the top of my head. ShakePay is great. Bull Bitcoin is great. Bitcoin Solutions, which is rebranding to Bitcoin Well. There's a bunch of them out there. So take a look around. I'll link to the ones I mentioned down below. And other than that, I really do hope this was helpful. Again, I've got links to Blue Wallet, so at least you can get started there. And I have links to other videos and alternative exchanges here in Canada that I was able to use in these show notes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do remember to hit like, subscribe, and share if you're here on YouTube. All of those things really do help, and they help bump up this video and get it in front of more eyeballs. Now, if you want to help out the show in another way, you can hit up the sponsors I mentioned down below. That was LEDN, Crypto Cloaks, the Cobo Vault, and of course, Bitrefill. And if you really loved what you saw, you can always drop me a Lightning Network tip at my tippin.me page. That is tippin.me/@BTC Sessions. With that, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, a wonderful day, wherever you may be, and I'll see you next time for your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.